we were just talking about letting our kids have the experience and meeting them while they have the experience and walking with them as guides so that they can have a new experience and thereby open up the door for a new paradigm. So could we translate that then over to what's happening with COVID?
Exactly what I was going to say.
What I was thinking too.
Right? And
That's
like
exactly
there's this reaction to, by the authority systems to be like, this is what it is, even though it's changing every day or every week.
We know better than you.
We know better than you. You have to follow us, and you have to. And so there's this whole control struggle. I mean,
We're the children.
Yeah.
We're the
We're the
kids.
children.
But see, that opens up a whole can of worms about the agendas that some are saying are behind the whole situation.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's part
Well,
of
maybe
it.
is there space to respond differently?
Well, maybe
Is
agenda
there-
aside, how could we?
Well,
Yeah.
agenda aside,
What would a society look like that could allow their population to do that? Like, what would it look like for people to be able to be empowered about their health, rather than to have this paradigm of,
Consciousness and the leaders. So what I was thinking when you were telling that story about walking with Narayani and reading the mailboxes, the numbers,
which is my
is
nightmare,
that
by the
you
way, going up to
trusted-
houses and
you-
going 60. My privacy alarm goes off, and I'm like, "Gee,
what number's that?
what number's that house?"
Narayani's running up onto the lawn anyway.
So what I'm thinking is that in that moment, you could have ignored, something came up in you in that moment, and you could have just said, no, we need to get home. I have things to do. There's more important things to be done. Our walk is over. You have your agenda.
Right.
You have the agenda.
That A word, man.
Daddy's agenda, or the agenda,
Yeah.
whatever,
Yep.
So, but you didn't. You trusted, and you heard, you got something, wherever it came from inside you, your common sense, your inner wisdom, your spirit guide who was hiding behind the tree. You listened to that, right? You listened to that, and then you went with it. And little did you know what it was going to open up into.
Right.
Yeah.
Now she's becoming a mathematician.
Just like her grandpa.
Because you let her, because you trusted that. And so that's what it's going to take, and then we can continue this conversation, for the leadership to be able to tap into their own intuition, into their own knowing, into their own wisdom, not just, I will probably, be banned forever from whatever, not just science,
Right.
not just data. Partly because we see data changing all the time, we see science changing all the time, and the slogan is of trust science. I think science is beautiful and wonderful. I love it when patients bring me their blood work
Right.
and they tell me what their doctor diagnosed them.
Of course you do.
It's wonderful.
More information.
It's more information,
Yes.
but it's not. We know
It's not the only
it's
truth.
not the only truth, and there's so much more to it. If you just went with your left brain and said, nope, we got to do this, because if I study the data of my life, if I waste this amount of time, then I won't get this done.
You miss a whole spectrum of opportunity and possibility, which
Exactly.
the world is missing because there aren't enough voices contributing to the conversation of existence.
one of
So
the
the
great
leaders, the consciousness of leaders need to evolve.
Yeah.
But it seems like right now the way it's happening is that the consciousness of people also needs to evolve. So it goes back and forth.
It's a co-creative dynamic.
It's a co-creative dynamic.
It's a relationship. It always comes back.